All right, guys, what's going on? Today we're going to be talking about cycle 1 and going through the overview and really what this is going to mean for you guys for the next 2 months or so. I love cycle 1. It is absolutely one of my favorite ones because it gets us back to the core roots of CrossFit, okay? And really what that means is metcons, right? So couplets and triplets that are usually going to be using weightlifting paired with gymnastics, and if it's triplet, usually going to be paired with monostructural, so something like rowing, biking, double unders, burpees kind of fall in there just a little bit. But we get back into really the fundamentals of CrossFit. So we use this as a reset for us to kind of refocus on a lot of our fundamental stuff, do a little bit more skill-based sessions. The classes are maybe not going to be as like jam-packed, and we're going to spend a little bit more time on form and form development and really kind of diving into some of those base level things, rebuilding squats and how to breathe during some of those tough, challenging weightlifting movements. And we're going to be doing a little bit more moderate load weightlifting as opposed to a lot of that heavy stuff. So you guys should see your form really crisp up over the next 2 months. So skill development, okay, and skill development days. These are going to be days that we're going to pepper in throughout the week, usually 1 to 2 throughout the week, and we are going to pick a skill and we're really going to dive into it, okay? So let's just take a toe to bar. The workout for that day might be an open workout that has clean and jerks and toes to bar in it, okay? The whole day is going to build up to that workout. And this is very classic, like old school CrossFit style. What we're gonna do then throughout the day is we're gonna work on barbell cycling. So we're gonna warm up, we're gonna go over all the fundamental movements, how to breathe. We're gonna build up in weight maybe a little bit above what we're gonna do the workout at, so that we can practice and have good mechanics at that heavier load. We'll drop the weight back down. Then we're also going to go over the mechanics and the fundamentals and build some kipping stuff into things, and then start to work on scales and start to really build and develop that toe to bar. Once we've really prepped ourselves for the workout, then we're going to go in, we're going to try to hit it with as much intensity as physically possible. So that skill development session is going to be somewhere in that 15 to 20 minute range, and we're going to really look to advance those skills. So if you guys are maybe at 1 to 2 toes to bar, we should aim to finish this cycle in that 5 to 6 unbroken range, or really what might be more important is be able to sustain sets of 3 for longer, okay? So that's going to be our big goal. We're also going to be going into handstands and handstand walking. That showed up a little bit in the open last year, so we want to start prepping that. I know a lot of you guys have been starting to work on handstand walks a little bit. I think it's a really fun skill to train. There's a lot of other just base level gymnastics skills and development that we can get from that skill. So a lot of overhead strength, overhead squat strength, and some of those other stabilizing mechanics that really develop well with some handstand and handstand walking stuff. If you guys don't feel comfortable on your hands at all, don't worry, we're going to build up and kind of develop the fundamental that underlies that just a little bit, which is working into some of the wall climbs, some Bach handstands, some plank stuff, and building the strength that way. And then lastly, guys, like I said, barbell cycling. So this is a huge piece of classic CrossFit, is the ability to control external loads, right? I always call it dancing with a barbell or dancing with an external load while our breath is up or our heart rate is high, and we're just looking for oxygen, looking to stabilize, and we're going to still have good form and mechanics, okay? This is one of the most important things. If you're going to continue CrossFit training in the future or continue doing anything where we know that, you know, maybe you're hiking, maybe you guys are going to be like snowboarding or doing something where there is some capacity where you might have to be moving some external loads while your heart rate's jacked up or your adrenaline's high. We need to be able to ensure that we have control over our stabilizing mechanics and our good kind of body position and mechanics as that heart rate elevates. Okay, so those are going to be the big skill development stuff. We might pepper in some other things. Obviously with kipping, you're going to get some pull-up work and some muscle-up work and some things like that. But we're just going to start to really focus a couple more days a week on just kind of slowing down a little bit, right? These days shouldn't really kill you for the first 20 minutes or so, but the workout you should put max intensity into on those days. We'll probably end up with a little bit of accessory work like we like to do, make sure that we're still developing some of those smaller muscles, some of the rehab stuff that Jenny is big on that really helps you guys stay healthy and have good joints and ligaments as we go forward. All right, from a cardio perspective on this one, guys, the heart rate's going to tend to be a little bit higher. Okay, if you guys struggle in that really high heart rate zone, I definitely recommend getting with a coach, and we can do a couple different things. We've had some real solid success lately with having a couple people wear heart rate monitors while they're doing their training, and then we can sort of start to train you on how to not let your heart rate get out of control during workouts, right? During CrossFit workouts. It's a little bit easier for us to do that, and one of the big things that we're going to be implementing this next cycle, which I'm super excited about, we just bought some new Concept 2 bikes, and I'm going to be bringing back some of the endurance stuff, and we're going to do that in a class setting on Sunday, and we're going to start developing down a path towards Pelotonia and maybe some triathlon training this summer. So I'm super excited about that. There will be more information on that to come, but that'll be a great opportunity. If you guys have struggled to build an aerobic base, learn how to control your heart rate, learn how to breathe inside of longer, harder workouts. This is just going to be a great tool for you guys to kind of put into your week and really develop that skill. But that's going to be something that is unique a little bit to this, is sometimes these open workouts, if you guys have ever done the open, they are very challenging workouts. They get very uncomfortable. Okay, so we want to make sure that we get you guys spending a little bit more time in that zone, and we're going to push ourselves up to about the limit of where we might get to in an open workout, and then we're going to rest, and we're going to do those as like repeated intervals. So if you guys were here last 2 years, we've really gotten quite a bit better at this. At first, we would do open repeats, and we would do some workouts that really weren't getting us to the place where we were just absolutely developing on this. But now we've found that getting ourselves 2 or 3 rounds into this open workout in a practice setting where we've got good form, good mechanics, and everything is still under control. And then right before the wheels come off, right, for your heart rate or for your form or some of that kind of stuff where you have to break down, you hit failure on toes to bar, so you're down to singles, we cap it. And then we rest for about 1 minute to 2 minutes. Then we're going to come back and we're going to do maybe 2 or 3 more rounds. And again, the goal is to maintain those toe to bar sets, maintain good form, not, just totally blow up and hit failure, which I'm sure almost everybody who's done an open workout has redlined too soon. So we're going to start training that and teaching you guys how to kind of control that better. For those of you guys who are more focused on fitness, what you guys can really hope to achieve with this is a very, very cool kind of lactic threshold training. It totally takes you down this path. It's some of the best possible training that you can have. And it's cool because we're doing it in a setting where you can ensure you have good form, good control, and you're not going to be at a very high risk for injury or anything like this. We just got done with the deadlift cycle and some of the push press cycle where we were heavy and we were hard. And I hope that you guys really enjoyed that. Our CrossFit total was fantastic, right? People were just PRing all 3, PRing by 50 pounds, 100 pounds on their total, which is awesome. I love doing that once a year. Now we're going to dial things back a little bit in terms of that super heavy load on the central nervous system. And we're really going to try to dial things back to a place where we can ensure good, high quality movement. Okay. Now, if you guys are still really interested in doing some of the heavy weightlifting stuff, that barbell club, functional bodybuilding, some of that stuff in terms of like beefing up is still going to be an opportunity for you there. But I do really encourage you to this is just going to be 8 weeks. Just don't be afraid to dial things back and really just spend a whole cycle working on moving well. Okay. And for the people who are doing squat cycle, it's going to be a great opportunity for you to come in and use those days where you're not going super heavy to, again, work on form, get your heart rate up, and be kind of in a good position when we're going through these things. So there's so much other stuff to go through on this. And testing-wise, this one's a little bit different because we're going to test a variety of different workouts, and we're not necessarily going to retest those because they are sort of inherently a retest. Okay, so just like the CrossFit Total, we didn't test in CrossFit Total because CrossFit Total is in and of itself a test. Okay, so instead what we're going to do is we're going to retest open workouts and a couple benchmarks, and then we're going to throw a couple main site workouts in there also. So we're pretty excited about it. We're going to say we're going to do main site Mondays. Main site Mondays might also end up being open Mondays. So we'll kind of see how that goes. I don't know if we're going to have enough main site workouts to really be able to put into a class atmosphere that are going to get at what we want. And because that programming's out of my control. I don't want to guarantee that we're going to do main site Mondays, but we are going to try to make sure that every Monday has some sort of really high level of skill development and then a really challenging, very classic CrossFit couplet and triplet. So for those of you guys who joined CrossFit and you were looking for like, you know what, I want that toned body. I want, that lean athletic frame where I can move my body well in gymnastics and I'm pretty good at moving external loads. That's what this cycle is going to be all about. So it's a really, really cool cycle. Obviously, with it being January, this does pair well for you guys who are going to be maybe looking to tone up and lean out and lose a little weight after, the winter weight has packed on from the holidays. Great opportunity for that because just the absolute, calorie burn and metabolic conditioning, high heart rate and the pump, all the stress on the muscles, everything that happens from this, physiologically from that end, it's probably the best. We always talk about how we want to build lean muscle mass. Well, we really just developed that over the last 2 cycles with squats and then with deadlifts and push presses. So from a muscular perspective, you guys should be feeling like you've been putting on muscle, right? And if we haven't been there, we probably need to talk with your coach and make sure that you're eating adequate amounts of protein, or if that is your goal. If that's not your goal, not a big deal, but we do want to make sure that that lean muscle mass has been improving over these past couple cycles because that has been a focus for those last couple cycles. As we switch here, this is going to be more hypertrophy based, so it's not that you're going to lose any muscle mass. If anything, you're going to be much better at that moderate load lifting, and that moderate load lifting will really carry over a lot more to our day-to-day, everyday life, right? It's going to prep us for the CrossFit Games Open, which is coming up, which is awesome. It's also going to prep us and prepare us for the rest of the year. It builds a great base foundation as we go into the summer season where you're going to be hiking and surfing and playing with your kids and doing more stuff outside, running and all that kind of stuff. There's very rarely situations where we're going to step up and pick things up off the ground that are at our max capacity, right? 200, 400, 500 pounds. Now that does help us having that higher capacity at lifting the more everyday weights like 50 or 80 or 100 pounds. So we want to start now that we've gained that higher top end strength. We want to start making sure that that is usable, high quality strength, and we can maintain that good form under lifting more moderate loads. So I'm really excited as we get to the open season, guys. This will be our last one together, which is really, really cool. It's going to change. It's going to shift. We don't know what October is going to bring and what that open season will change in the future. I'm really excited. I'm one of the few people probably that has done every single open workout and logged a score every single year that they've ever done it. And so I'm excited to kind of keep that going this year. But really more than anything, I've just found that it's just a fun way for us as a community to get together on a Saturday and just support and cheer each other on, feel good for other people's successes, and just really generally spread some positivity. And really, honestly, the cool thing about it, guys, is you see people go harder than they would normally go, that's what I love. You guys ever watch me on the side of workouts, just kind of smirking, smiling, laughing, watching you guys and enjoying that? It's because I love seeing people push themselves outside of their comfort zone. It's just so rare these days when you have those raw, visceral moments. And so this cycle is chock full of those, which is awesome. And then as we get to the open season, we're going to get even more of them. So it's a fun cycle. It's a very challenging cycle. And you guys will probably end up laying on your backs a little bit more than we have been with some of the longer stuff or some of the shorter sprintier and heavier stuff. So now we're getting back into the nitty gritty of full on CrossFit. So hope you guys are pumped for that and looking forward to getting it going this next week. Thanks, guys.